Hello, everybody. Welcome to our second annual New Year's episode of the Book Return and Elvin Building Library Podcast.
Yay.
I'm Zach, Information Manager.
I'm Brittany, Library Director.
And I'm Chloe, one of the clerks.
How was your Christmases?
Just
You guys have a good Christmas?
lovely.
Yeah, I think it was great.
Yeah, that's good. You guys
Yeah.
meet Santa Claus?
He was here.
He was here.
He was, and I was gone.
Were
Same.
you?
Yeah.
I'm sad.
That is sad. Like, I wanted to see him because last year it was lovely.
Yeah, it's adorable.
He
All
does
the
a
kids
very
meeting
nice
him.
job.
He does.
Can you guys believe this is our second New
No.
Year's episode?
No, it's wild.
I'm doing it for like a year and a half almost now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
we've
insane.
learned
Lots.
Yes.
Lots
much.
and lots. No,
Definitely.
it's good. It's been a good progression.
I think so.
Yeah.
Great experience.
Definitely.
You know, listening to just a few minutes of last year's episode, like, we are so much more fluid now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like, I remember last year's being like perfect, and it was just like I had to jump around because it was just silence for most of it.
Only a slight exaggeration.
Yeah, and like the levels were off. Like,
Yeah, we've improved a lot.
I need to look into it, but like we jumped to like 5 minutes before the end. It was just dead silence.
Oh dear.
Who knows?
What was wrong with past us?
I don't know.
And we spent so much more time on every
yeah,
episode.
it took us longer and the product was worse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we like went
But
through
at least
every
we're
line.
trending in the right
That's
direction.
true.
We
yes.
are.
Yes.
Like,
I feel
look
good
at
about
us.
where we are now.
Yep.
I feel like we're much better at holding our mics and talking like human beings
Yeah.
and acting like we get along, but we show it
do.
as
Yes.
such.
Yeah.
That was a good sentence on my part. So it's New Year's.
Yeah.
That means
Happy
there's,
2024.
wow.
that's so weird.
2024.
Is there something fun or special about this year?
Leap year.
Absolutely not.
Leap year. There we
year.
Well,
go.
that's true.
Yeah.
It's only one more day of the misery.
Yeah.
No one is saying 2024 is going to be my year because we've all
No.
learned our lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Like
gonna
I
be a year.
I failed on all of my resolutions last year.
Yeah.
To play more video game baseball and to sleep more.
Oh,
Like
I couldn't tell you if I
failed
slept
on
more
that
this
hard.
year or not.
I don't know if I got a full night's sleep this year.
I definitely slept more. Like I used to have so much worse insomnia than I do now. I got more sleep this year.
What's your secret?
I don't know.
Okay.
Going to bed earlier.
I do that, and
Yeah.
then I just doom scroll until
Yeah.
4 a.m.
I've been waking up earlier consistently too. I used to like sleep until like noon or 1, and then I was like, why can't I fall asleep at a normal time?
Right?
Yeah, but now I've been getting up pretty consistently earlier.
I remember when I was 13, and it was summer break. First time that I talked to our next door neighbor, I woke up at 1 o'clock that day, and she was raking leaves, and she was like, "How was your morning?" And I said, "I woke up at 1," and she said, "You're disgusting." Like, that's the only thing we ever
So
said to each other.
rude.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Great.
though.
I can't even imagine what that's like. My mother historically has always been like an early riser. And so even on summer break, like we were awakened by
Yeah.
7
7
every
is
morning.
7
way too early.
o'clock.
So yeah, there are things to do, and we don't waste away our day in bed.
Like, I probably could have used some of that routine instead of waking up at 1, walking up the street in my pajamas and talking to my neighbor.
Didn't even get dressed.
Nope. Like, also, I can say this. Enough time has passed. That woman went to prison for trying to kill her children.
Oh,
What?
Yeah.
What kind of neighborhood did you grow up in? This is like the second
Terrible.
horrific story we've heard about like your childhood recently.
honestly.
What was the other one?
Your schoolmate that got murdered by other
Oh,
schoolmates
yeah.
or
Yes,
something.
and his grandparents.
Yeah.
Yep. There's a crime show on like A&E about that.
Oh,
Wild.
It's like, whoa,
are you gonna
Tony.
watch it?
I watched some of it, and
Yeah.
it's got like footage of my high school from
That's
2002.
so weird.
And it's like, whoa.
That would be really
Memory lane.
unnerving, I think.
Yeah.
Memory lane.
Like, so I felt bad for being super nostalgic because
Aw.
I knew Tony, not well.
Yeah, that's good. Probably for the best that you didn't.
Yeah, and I didn't know this lady's children, but they are still around, I'm
I'm
assuming.
glad she failed.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, I think she just had a mental break.
That's very sad.
It was very sad. She looked very stressed and then when I said I woke up at 1 o'clock, like
Yeah.
I could see her getting angry.
Yeah.
And I don't think that that's what broke her.
Yeah, it probably wasn't your fault.
It wasn't your
Yeah.
fault.
You
I
probably don't
wouldn't
need to blame
think
yourself.
so. Yeah,
No.
but
Oh dear.
That's really funny though.
time is the fire in which we burn.
Uh-huh.
Malcolm McDowell said that
Okay.
in Star Trek.
Oh, I was going to
Oh,
say, in the
okay.
Clockwork Orange.
Nope, the other one, Star
Sounds
Trek
very
Generations.
Clockwork Orangey.
Two very different movies.
Yeah.
True.
But yeah. What are you guys looking forward to coming up in 2024? There's a lot of movies, books, a lot of sequels,
Yeah.
TV shows.
I got a few. Mm-hmm.
That's good. I didn't say how many you had.
That's
So,
true.
like, what are you looking
Am
for?
I going first? What do we want to do first? Books, TV, movies?
Do we, like, it's 2024 now. Like, there's no structure.
Okay.
There's
All right.
There might not be a tomorrow.
You
That's
pick what you
always
feel
true.
like talking about first.
Yeah.
Let's do books. I have two that I'm really excited
Cool.
about. There's Heavenly Tyrant by Jiren J. Zhao. It's
Okay.
coming out in April. It's the sequel to Iron Widow. Yeah, we're gonna get it right.
Oh, of course. I wanted to know if you were up on the drama.
Yes.
Yep.
I hadn't
Oh
heard of
my
it, and then
goodness.
Zach asked if I'd known
And-
about
Kate
it.
Corain.
Kate Corain.
Yeah, and
What
Zhao
a...
is the one that like brought that
Yeah.
all to light.
I've been watching their TikToks about it.
Yeah, me
because
too.
They're just like a hilarious, amazing person already, and then all of that is insane.
Yeah.
And, like, Kate Corain doubled down, which made Zaren J. Zhao, like, unleash everything.
Yeah.
So, friends, those of you who don't know what's happening, there was a debut author who has a contract with one of the big 5 publishers for their debut novel. They had an $80,000 deal with Illumicrate
Insane.
to do a special edition of their book. I think it was the May or June Illumicrate box that was going to be based on their book, and they, over the last couple months, had created several Goodreads burner accounts
Like a lot.
and started review bombing other debut authors, most of them BIPOC authors, some of them authors in their own publishing house,
So bad.
and then using those same burner accounts to 5-star review their own debut novel.
So
it is
blatant.
It is like the talk of the publishing industry currently.
I don't know how Kate thought that she would get away with that.
I don't know either.
And, like, why she had to do it. She already had the
yeah.
deal.
Right.
Like, was super highly anticipated, it
Yeah.
sounded
Yeah.
like.
And now her book is no longer being published, and she has lost her Illumicrate deal,
Yeah.
and she
Deservedly
is-
so.
Yes. Oh yeah.
100%.
100%.
Like, I'm putting
Like-
all of the books that she review bombed on my reading
Yep,
list. Like,
yep.
Like-
reverse. Yeah.
Which is kind of nice because I'm guessing a lot of people are going to do that. Like, this has brought so much
Yeah.
like to the light.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Authors. And, like, did you see one of the things that she tried to do to clear her name was creating this fake conversation with her friend Lily?
With
doesn't
the fake
exist?
friend Lily.
Yeah,
Fake friend, yeah.
Lily.
Like, yeah.
Oh my god! It
Yeah.
looked like something that I would have written as like a
It
10-year-old.
was terrible.
It was so bad, and they showed how the back and forth, the timelines didn't
It made no
like add
sense.
up.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was just friends, just be grateful for what you have,
Yeah.
and
Don't-
edify others.
Yeah. Don't let jealousy ruin your life.
But like, there's no reason. It was like a preemptive jealousy.
It
She was
was.
like, they might
Yes.
Do better
like
than
outsell
me.
me.
Yes,
She had to do
really
nothing.
So just sad situation.
Very sad.
I liked that the fan fiction community had a big part in like
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
exposing that Lily wasn't real.
Real?
They're like,
Yes.
Lily doesn't exist.
Not us,
Yeah.
not us,
Oh,
not us in the Raylo fanfic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Community.
Raylo. Yeah,
Like on a
That's so
first name
amazing.
basis with everybody.
Yeah,
in the
they're like, we
community.
know everyone.
Yeah.
Right. So that's insane to me.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
But like, I don't know how bad her book is, but if it's anything, like
It's
writing.
not. It was
supposed to be
It was
good.
supposed
I
to
heard
be
that.
very good. Like the advanced reviews were amazing of the book.
Such
And
a
that same person
bummer.
wrote the Lily conversation.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's
how dare
awful.
you?
Yeah.
Must have been mid breakdown.
Yeah,
I had to be.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like capital letters and like exclamation
A lot
points.
of profanity, a lot of misspellings, just a
Yeah.
mess.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hardcore mess.
Yeah.
But fun to read about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I haven't read any of Zirin J. Zhao's
You
books,
should.
and I have always wanted to.
I've only
And-
read Iron Widow, but they have a tween book, I think, a middle grade book that I really want to read as well.
We may have
think
it.
we might.
think we looked into it maybe when we did one of the early
Yeah.
episodes where we talked about them.
I think so.
That sounds
yeah.
right.
It looks good. I do want to read that one as well.
Like you said, they are very entertaining and
They
funny
are
to
super funny, super smart.
great TikTok.
They have a lot of like history stuff on their TikTok. They have like a weird obsession with Robespierre. I was getting into a little bit last night. That was really interesting. Yeah.
It's so fun.
Yeah, I love them. Yeah. Heavenly Tyrant.
Okay.
Heavenly Tyrant.
Yeah.
There was, oh no, I wish I wrote it down. There's one of your favorite authors that has a book coming out this year. And it's a name that is unique.
More
So
unique
start-
than Sharon J. Zhao.
Kind of in the same ballpark.
Interesting.
Like,
Like
think
an
in-
Asian American author?
I don't remember. It was like NG is in the name somewhere. Start listing your authors.
Celeste Ng.
Nope.
Huh.
I don't know.
Just start. Who do you like?
Like I can't think of anyone with the names.
So, like it's somebody
You
that you've
put her
talked
on the
about many
spot.
times. It's like your favorite
N.K.
author.
Jemisin. Like that's not a super unique name.
I'll look into it.
Okay, and I don't think that she has a book coming out because she just
think
had
so.
the Great Cities book come
Yeah,
out.
I don't think it was her. Somebody
Oh.
else.
Aiden Thomas has a book coming out. I have. Their
Aiden Thomas
second-
is like the
It's
easiest.
like a very easy
Yeah.
name to say.
Like it'll come to me eventually.
Okay, I'm
I'll
so
look into it.
curious. I don't know what it is.
Like I almost wrote it down, and I was
You
like, "This is
should've.
going to be on your list. I don't need to bring it up."
It's not on my list.
But that's cool.
What? Gosh, is it a sequel or a new standalone?
I think it's
book?
a sequel. I'm basing that off of nothing,
Interesting.
but everything's a sequel. So I feel like it's
Basically.
it's an easy shot for me to take.
Interesting.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, well, I'll mention my other, the Aiden Thomas book, Celestial Monsters. It's the sequel to Sunbearer Trials, which I really liked. They have another book called Cemetery Boys that's really good. So I'm really excited to see what Celestial Monsters is.
Remember you talking about Cemetery
Sunbearer?
Boys?
Oh, yeah, Cemetery.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've talked about both of them on the podcast. Yeah, Cemetery Boys made me cry. Like, it took me a long time to get into it, and then by the end, I was like, tears. It was really good.
I was gonna say that sounds like a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very good thing.
Yeah, those are the two books I'm looking forward to.
Like I
Sure
I
there's
feel
more.
bad. I didn't write any books down for my upcoming.
That's okay.
3 movies that are just like varying degrees of looking forward to them.
Okay, fair enough.
Did you write any movies down?
I got movies. Do
Okay.
we want to do Brittany's books first?
Like I'm down doing that.
I have
Let's
a couple
do it.
books. My first one is The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo,
Mm.
and
Oh.
it is her first foray into kind of historic fantasy.
Ooh, okay.
Interesting.
And it is set in the Golden Age of Spain. And the main character is discovered to have perhaps witchy powers, which brings her into the focus of the Spanish Inquisition.
Oh, interesting.
Very interesting.
So,
Such an
yeah.
interesting part of history that I know
Yeah.
nothing about.
Yeah.
Same.
Yep. So I'm looking forward to that one.
Sounds
Is
cool.
that another adult
It
fiction?
is.
Okay.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep. I'm a little bit annoyed that she's not working on the third Alex Stern book, but as long as this one is good, it's fine. It's
Yes,
fine.
yes. And she's not abandoned that
Right,
series,
right.
right?
No,
Okay,
no,
good.
no. And the new one just came out this year, the newest
Oh,
one.
okay.
So I'm just impatient.
Understandably so.
She writes
They sound
so
good,
much.
yeah.
She does, yeah. She is pretty prolific. My second one that I'm looking forward to is a sci-fi, and it's called The Mercy of Gods, and it's by James S.A. Corey, who wrote the Expanse series.
yep.
It is the first book in their new trilogy, and it is also hard sci-fi. And from what I understand, there is the race of humanity, and then there is a second race, and both are being held in captivity by a third power and are being like pitted against one another.
Okay.
So it sounds really interesting and a little bit of a deviation from, spaceships and lasers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm interested to read that first
Sounds
entry
like
in that.
Sounds cool.
a lot of
trilogy.
existential dread.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
I used to have like recurring nightmares. So I think after playing the Mass Effect games on the Xbox, because there's like this unseen like alien race that's like
Yeah.
rapidly closing in.
And I always felt that in The Expanse too, because
Mm-hmm.
the gate builders were never like found.
Oh, gosh.
And so
Probably similar
Yeah.
sense of dread.
yeah.
I'm excited. I didn't know he was coming out with another
Yeah.
trilogy. That's really
Yeah.
The
cool.
Expanse ones are so popular.
They are.
Like, I think I pulled 2 for holds today.
Yeah, they did one of the some weird like series of short fiction that Amazon has published, and they're all ebooks. And there are several big authors that have done like short fiction for this, and I haven't gotten into that series yet. And they're all about different things, but those 2 wrote a piece of short fiction for that as well. That was also sci-fi, but I haven't gotten to it yet. So.
Okay. Did you hear anything about it? Like
No,
Okay. Interesting.
It's such a weird little publishing project that they've done, but there are several like huge name authors that have done works for
Okay,
it.
that's
So,
cool.
Yeah.
Like I've read the first Expanse book 3 times. I will get to the rest. Like
You will never.
the annoying thing is I want to so bad.
Yeah.
Well, that says a lot. You don't reread stuff that often.
No,
I
but
feel
like I would check the second book out, and it had been long enough since I
that
read the
makes
first
sense.
one, so I'd like
Yeah.
reread it.
You should just read like the last chapter.
You know
I
what?
should.
You know what you could do now that you have read the first one 3 times. You could watch season 1 of the TV series
True.
because it follows the first book very
I
closely.
remember you
That's a great
saying that.
idea.
That is a good idea.
Good
and
refresher.
it's got all of the high points and the big
Okay.
plot points. A couple of the characters are a little bit different in
Sure.
the series than in the books, but it wouldn't be enough to throw you off.
Yeah, and I feel like as soon as I start watching it, like everything
come
is
back.
going to
Everything
flood
will
back.
come
Yeah.
back. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yep. So that was my second, and my third is called The Demon of Unrest, and it's Eric Larson's new book, and
Oh,
it's based on the days leading up to the Civil War.
Oh,
Interesting.
So I'm looking forward to that one.
That is an interesting era, and I've read too much about like the Stamp Act and
I'm-
like
I-
stuff like that.
It sounds like part of it's going to be about Lincoln, and then I
okay.
wonder what he's going to marry Lincoln with, because there's always like a kind of like a dual perspective in those
such
books.
a
Yeah.
like,
And
good
so,
structure.
Yeah,
It is. Like that's so fascinating.
Yeah,
Maybe just like Congress at the time because
yeah,
there's
maybe.
like a lot of crazy
He
stuff
seems
happening.
to do like a really prominent character, and then like someone that's not quite as well known.
True.
Which is historically what I've seen in his books, but I'm really interested to
Yeah.
get my hands on that one.
I feel like
So-
coming up with ideas for that has to be tricky because you have to come up with somebody like relatively unknown, but is
Sure.
like still really important in the grand like
Yeah.
scheme of stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
I heard that Abraham Lincoln had a very high pitched voice.
Oh,
Like they came out with that a few years ago.
Interesting.
I don't know if they're just basing it off of his shape.
Who is they?
I think it was like
History
something
in general.
like the BBC like produced
Oh, okay.
like something about
All right.
like what do they know? It's our dang president.
Stay out of it.
probably Like, said stay in that your on lane.
purpose.
Yeah,
Right.
slander.
To make him sound bad. That's hilarious.
It's more Thatcher-esque propaganda.
When I went to Central Michigan, I had a professor in the English department who was British, and he had lots to say about Margaret Thatcher.
Oh, I'm sure.
Lots and lots.
I'm sure. Not the most well liked.
Oh man, yeah. I learned a lot about the British government from him.
And under Thatcher, I'm guessing it wasn't all positive.
No.
I saw the Iron Widow? Curtain?
No.
Iron Curtain?
No.
Iron Widows.
No, the Iron
Thank
Lady,
you.
right? Is
Yes,
it the Iron
thank you.
Lady?
Yep. And who played Thatcher in
I don't
that?
remember.
It was somebody
It was
like high
someone
profile.
quite well known.
Yeah. I want to say,
I can't remember.
yeah.
I didn't
Good
see
movie,
it.
though. Like,
I'd probably like
biopics
it, I'm
could
sure.
go one
Yeah.
way or the other. And if they're like too well known, then it takes me out of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like when they're like super sanitized either.
No. I like. Could you imagine if Paul Thomas Anderson's Lincoln, like if Paul Rudd played Abraham Lincoln?
Oh, I see what you're saying. If the casting is too well known.
Yeah.
I thought you just meant if the
Although
if
that's
the
a
person.
bad example because Daniel Day-Lewis played Lincoln.
True.
It's just
Very
Paul Rudd
well
would have been a
known.
mismatch.
Yeah, Paul Rudd wouldn't have made a lot of sense.
I
Yeah.
don't think so.
It was Meryl Streep.
I was
Huge.
gonna say the other Helen Mirren or
Oh.
Meryl
Oh.
Streep.
Yeah, it was
okay.
Meryl Streep.
I can see that.
She is lovely.
She is. What do you got for movies?
Yep, I should have. See,
You
I
didn't
looked
write
at
them
a
down?
book. No, I didn't.
Oh,
But I
okay.
looked at the book list and I was like, I got 3 movies and I can't take any of these away. So what I've got, there's very little is known about the first movie that I have on my
Okay.
list.
All right.
That's intriguing.
Twisters. I had no idea. Like, this very little is known. There's like 800 trailers and they're all fake.
So is it real?
It is
coming
real.
out?
Like, it's got an
Is there a
IM
release date?
Uh,
Oh, so many things have an
the-
IMDb page.
yeah, well, the tentative release date right now is July 2024, but it's
Okay.
got like the full cast.
Okay,
and
so it's
like,
real.
yeah,
Is there
Yeah.
anyone who we know
I don't think so.
in this full cast? All right, so is it a straight to TV movie?
Like, it's probably going to be
This-
really high budget, soulless. It's going to have like
Yeah.
references.
Yeah,
Bummer.
but how? How are they doing that
Who's
without
producing it?
without a known cast?
Yeah.
I don't know. It sounds like the director, and I didn't recognize the director's name, but they said like it's going to be like a retelling of Twister, but with like modern technology.
That's just foolishness.
It's like make it a
Foolishness.
unnecessary.
You can make it a sequel and still
if there
have
are
it
no
modern
cows,
technology.
I
Yeah.
am not down.
Oh, like the one shot on Google is of
Was
a
a cow, of
but it's
course
like
it was.
high res.
Boo.
And somebody that's obviously Helen Hunt's like counterpart is going to be like cow. It's like, yep. They're going to have Pepsi like over promote their products in this movie too, hopefully.
Wow.
You gonna go see it?
Yeah,
Of course.
absolutely. Like,
That'll be the one he does go to see.
Probably, honestly.
True. We'll see
won't
it
see any
3
of
times.
these like spectacular movies. We'll see Twisters. 3
okay,
times.
what name one spectacular movie
I got
that I
several on my. Well, I got.
Okay,
3.
you're saying okay.
You can
Sabotage.
keep going.
I haven't not seen them yet.
That's true.
Couple, 2 others that I have are kind of a different
Okay.
vein. There's Imaginary that's coming up.
Oh, I saw that on the list I was looking at.
Like it seems like it's gonna. It's made by Blumhouse.
Yeah,
which
I
is
like their stuff.
yeah. They did Megan Mathregan, and I
They
don't.
do the
I,
Black Phone too. I think
I think so.
the
yeah.
Joe Hill
That was
adaptation.
creepy.
Yeah.
It was creepy.
Creeper.
Yeah.
The most recent they did, which I don't have as much of an interest, is Five Nights at Freddy's.
I kind of want to see it because it's Blumhouse, and also
like same.
was it who is directing it? There was somebody involved in it that like made me more interested.
Okay,
I
interesting.
can't remember. It was either like somebody in the cast or somebody on the crew that I was like, oh, this might actually be good.
Okay, like I'm down to see it.
I'm gonna briefly look.
Okay. Like the reviews seem very polarizing, and I feel like
Yeah.
they were on Megan as well.
And I loved Megan.
Me too. Like a lot of people that I saw turned Megan off within the first like 15 minutes because the tone was like completely different than what they
The
expected.
tone is so good.
It's like if you don't like the
Expectations are it's getting 5 stars out of 10. It's got Josh Hutcherson in it. The
Okay.
Five Nights at Freddy's does. Who's directing it? Emma Tammy. I don't know who that is. Okay,
Okay.
so I don't know. Matthew Lillard is in it.
that was probably what
That's
your
probably
draw.
yeah. I like Josh Hutcherson a lot too.
Yeah, of Hunger Games fan.
Yes.
Who's that from? Hunger Games. Is it the Popeyes
It's a
thing?
running. It's a running TikTok joke. Yeah, where Josh Hutcherson is popping up everywhere.
Oh,
He's great.
I'm out of the zeitgeist.
That's okay.
And
What's
then
your-
my last one is Nosferatu
Oh.
by
yeah.
Robert Eggers. He did The Norseman. He did The Witch.
Loved that.
Yeah.
Loved The Norseman. Didn't
The
see
Witch
The
was
Witch.
phenomenal.
The Vavitch.
Yes.
Yes.
So, like, you have to watch with subtitles because it's all like very heavy, like
Accents.
Yeah,
I like that.
Scottish accents.
Yeah. The
It's
Norseman was
so
super good too, and they had some accents.
Well, like
Not as
he's got a
strong.
very specific style.
He does.
Like you can tell, and it's like, again, sense of dread, just kind of like always.
Oh, the
like,
sense of dread
ever-present.
gets me every time.
Yeah.
So
it's
good.
intense.
Like if it's well done, it's like phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I feel like he nails it. And so like Nosferatu is like a pretty big departure. I feel like
Yeah. I would love to see that. I'm totally down.
I am very excited.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Those are my 3.
Okay. I have got the Inside Out sequel. I'm excited for
I
that.
almost put that down.
Yeah, Inside Out 2. I love Inside Out.
I didn't know
Me
they
too.
were making a second one.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mhm. I think I don't know much about it because I don't really like to know before I see it.
Yeah.
But I'm excited.
Hmm.
Pixar's good.
Bing bong.
Bing Bong's dead.
He is.
He won't be in the sequel, I don't think.
Like, hopefully you don't just see, like, him in the background. Just,
Be
like, the
rough.
remains.
Yeah. And then I have A Quiet Place Day 1. Really, I love the first and the second Quiet Place movies. The second one was even better than the first one. So
So
this will be interesting.
rare.
Yeah. It's set, like, I guess day one, like when everything starts. Because
Okay.
both the first one and the second one are set, like, one that's already been, you know, apocalypse times for a while. Except for the beginning of the second one goes back to, like, right before it starts.
Okay.
And then this one, I guess, is set, like, right when it's starting, which is really interesting.
Yeah, I feel like that's the only way you
Cool.
could do another sequel. Like, you don't
Yeah.
want more of the same, like,
Right.
the Krasinski having
Well, he's
to-
not even in the second one, really.
What?
He's in the second one a little bit.
Was he filming the sequel to that football movie with George Clooney?
Well, he was
Leatherheads?
directing the second one.
Oh, okay.
And the first one.
Fair enough.
So he probably wasn't filming a different movie.
Probably not.
He wrote and directed. But he is not in the second one much.
Okay. But I'm
Have
assuming
you seen
he'll be
the
in
first one?
No.
Okay.
I'm assuming he'll be in the third one. right?
Definitely, I think.
Okay.
I'm sure it's still about the same family.
Probably.
I love.
Seems like it would have to be, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is her name? Emily Blunt.
Blunt.
Yeah.
I like her a lot.
His wife.
Yes. Very cool.
Mhm.
The last one I wrote down is an A24 movie, which there's a ton of cool A24 movies coming out. But this one is called Sing Sing. It's starring Coleman Domingo, which I don't really know anything about him, but it's about a theater workshop in a prison. And
I saw something about that.
yeah, it looked really interesting. And all of the rest of the cast are formerly incarcerated members of the Rehabilitation Through the Arts program.
That's so
which I
cool.
thought was so interesting.
That does
yeah.
sound really
Yeah.
interesting.
Like not actors, which a lot of like movies that I really like are like really amateur actors or just not actors at all.
Yeah.
Especially if they're like doing something, acting in something that's like familiar to them.
Yeah.
So I feel like that could be really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be
Interesting.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Could
Yeah.
go any direction.
Yep.
But like if it's A24, I feel like it's going to be well
They got
done.
a lot of hits and a lot of stinkers.
Like what was the worst thing that you could think of that
I
they made?
can't. I don't know. I can't think of anything. I feel like I only really watched good ones.
That's fair. Like their highs are very high.
Yes.
You know
But
which
they-
ones are
yeah.
terrible and you steer clear.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those
Cool.
are my movies. What do you got, Brittany?
I have a couple. The first one coming up that I'm excited about is Dune 2.
Oh, yeah.
Saw that.
I really liked the adaptation of the first one. I know there are people that disliked it because they thought it was boring, but it really follows very faithfully the book. And
That's nice.
there's not a lot of... The book is very cerebral. And so for them to create a cerebral film seems natural to me,
Yeah.
but you know,
It's not
whatever.
everybody's cup of tea.
It's not David Lynch's 1980s version, so people have already got mad at it, but whatever.
Oh, the David Lynch stands.
Yeah, yeah.
Too much.
So I'm looking forward to that one. I am looking forward to The War of the Rohirrim,
Yeah.
Oh,
me
which
too.
is
Yeah.
the Lord of the Rings one that's
Animated.
coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It being animated makes me more interested in
I
it.
think
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
too. I like the Rohirrim. I would like to see more stories about them.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see what they come up with.
Yeah.
And then the third one that I'm really looking forward to is Wicked.
Oh, yeah. That's
so
fun.
I've been waiting for a long time. I've
Cool.
seen it on Broadway. I'm
Wow.
really excited to see the film. So
That's
Awesome.
cool. We're talking about things that we learned on this podcast. One of the things that I learned is that Wicked and The Wiz are two different things. Because you
remember
guys were
that.
very confused. I was like, I love Michael Jackson.
We were like, oh, what are you talking about?
You guys know. ABC. Well, I didn't know they were making a movie. That's very cool.
That is
Yep,
cool.
it's done. It's maybe even out of post, but but
Okay.
yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Like you had TV shows,
I
didn't
have
you,
one
Chloe?
TV show.
Okay.
They're doing and I don't even know if I'll watch it, but I don't have high hopes.
Well, how you're selling it really well.
They're doing a live action Avatar: The Last Airbender TV show.
Oh, I
Yep.
did see
I'm really nervous.
the previews. I think were very okay.
Yeah.
and well received.
I think so. I didn't watch them, but everything I haven't heard anything terrible yet, but I just don't. I don't know. I'm nervous about making that live action.
Like they already struck gold with the film.
They,
like
yeah, I mean,
like why do they need to do more?
I mean, it was
Yeah,
almost
M.
as good
Night
as the Percy
did
Jackson
so good.
film.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Yeah.
rough
So I don't
stuff.
know. I'll watch it, but
I think
nervous.
last year I talked about starting the Last Airbender
you
show,
should. It's
and that
excellent.
just fell off my radar.
It's super good.
So we had a patron that started like hardcore recommending the Star Wars Clone Wars.
Oh yeah, I
mean,
do want to watch that.
You
Clone
oversold
Wars
it.
is
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I've heard
I've
that's
heard
You have
that
to get
too.
through. You have to get through season 1 and the first half of season 2. Like it gets better as it
Okay.
goes.
Okay.
Okay.
They had to overcome the horrible film. So there was a Clone Wars animated film first, and the animation
Oh.
style was not something that resonated well with audiences.
Okay.
And so they had to kind of get over that and through that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes
Interesting.
But the Clone Wars, I was not an Anakin Skywalker fan at all, just based on the films.
Yeah.
And the Clone Wars adds so much depth and gravity to his
Wow.
character.
Okay.
It does a lot of good work as far as character development.
I've heard that, and they go like way more into Darth Maul as
And
well.
yes, and one of the best Star Wars characters, in my opinion, to ever be created came out of that show. That was Ahsoka Tano. So.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay.
Man, there's too much to
I
watch.
know, there is.
Gosh darn it!
You guys got TV?
I have one, Series 14 of Doctor Who.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
The Christmas special comes out, I think, on Sunday. Maybe it's right on Christmas Day. But Series 14 sees a new doctor. Ncuti Gatwa is the new doctor. He was in Netflix's show Sex Education. And he was also one of the Kens in the Barbie movie.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
And
So
so I'm really
good.
excited to see what he does. His doctor appeared in the last special that aired last week. So I'm really interested to see how that goes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. I'm excited for Last of Us season 2.
Did you finish?
Oh
season
yeah.
Nope.
one?
But
Okay.
And
I'm
I
But you
waiting.
will.
I will.
fingers crossed we see Stranger Things season 5.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, because that's like
in
the
24.
last.
Last one.
Yep. They're all so
Last one.
old,
I know it.
They are.
crazy.
Yeah.
Times they are changing.
That's true.
You got anything else, Chloe?
That's all my upcoming releases I'm looking forward to. I think
It's a stacked year.
it is.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, Twisters. The things
Top
you
of the
guys said.
list.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Of the things you guys said.
Excited.
Yeah.
It's gonna be my resolution is gonna be to consume more media
Oh, that's a good one.
because I dropped off.
Yeah.
My youngest child.
I didn't do a lot of
ruined it.
movies this year. I only saw a couple movies in the theater.
Yeah, I saw
Which ones
Lust
did
I
you
and
saw
like?
The Haunted Mansion. I saw Oppenheimer. I did see Barbie.
Yeah, Barbie was good.
I did go watch the Eras Tour movie
Okay.
Okay.
twice. I
Wow.
went myself, and then I took my girls.
Oh, okay.
What is
fun.
that one again?
Taylor
The
Swift.
Taylor Swift
Oh,
concert
yeah.
movie.
Okay.
It was very good.
Heard
She's
that was
amazing.
well done. Yeah.
Like, so she wanted to do the movie, and they were wanting, like, whoever they are, the Hollywood machine, wanted, like, to be the middleman. They wanted a bunch of money, and she went around them and went straight to AMC and made a deal exclusively with AMC. Just her. She directed. She had a co-director, and they produced it, and they did all the work
Wow.
themselves and sold it right to the theaters.
That's
Smart.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very smart. She is a very intelligent
Oh, she's-
businesswoman.
She is.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
People like to discount her because of the color of her hair, and that is a sad, sad tragedy.
She's like a
Yeah.
billionaire.
She
isn't
is.
she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She is.
Insane.
Yeah.
That's the more dollars I ever seen.
Like, I can't even make my brain, like, grab onto that concept.
No, I
No.
can't either. Like, at some point, it's just noise.
Meaningless.
Yeah.
Like 100's tough enough.
Right. We
So
count it
is
every
too
day.
high.
Yeah.
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 Oh,
And her, yeah. So, anyway.
I do like her.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I haven't given a whole lot of thought to my resolutions.
I want to read more nonfiction.
Yeah, I just want to read more in general.
Yeah. You've been reading lately.
I have.
Started again.
Yeah, I did
Good.
finish Series of Unfortunate
Good
Events.
for
The
you.
first book.
Yes.
Yes.
First
I
book.
think that deserves a high five.
Thank you.
Yeah, good job.
Hey, and then the same day I read The Sad Ghost Club.
Yeah,
Oh.
the first one in that series.
Back into it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Gonna jump into the Hunger Games next, I think.
Excellent.
Ooh,
Excellent.
yes.
And I've got your suggestion of the John Greens. The
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Anthropocene review.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm
could
very
even
excited to.
Do that in tandem with the Hunger Games.
You could.
if
I'm
you
going
need a
to.
break. Yeah.
because I'm gonna
That's a
do it
good
like
idea.
essay by essay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got a plan.
How about some of your highlights from this
Yeah.
past year?
I got a
Series of unfortunate events for me because it's very fresh in my brain.
And Sad Ghost Club.
Sad Ghost Club.
Sad Ghost Club
Hey.
looks really good. That was an Avery recommendation.
Yeah, that was like very well written.
Good.
Yeah.
It's like the entire thing is just one very long conversation between two people.
Interesting.
It's very like authentic.
Okay. I definitely want to read that one.
It's good.
Yeah.
I've been playing a lot of a World War II simulator on the PlayStation 5. Hell Let Loose.
You've talked about it before. I think.
Very realistic.
Yeah.
Like-
PTSD simulator is what you called it
Yeah,
before.
right.
I think that's-
that
Yeah,
tracks.
Yeah.
That's still like what the developers like advertised it as. It's like you can't just run around. You have to like hide in trenches and like
That sounds unpleasant.
shiver. Like it's a good experience.
Cool.
Yeah,
That's your highlight.
yeah, that resonated with me. Playing a lot of Power Wash Simulator as well. to
That game
wind
looks
down.
very calming.
It
is.
It
Yeah.
would.
Yeah.
Right?
like that.
It's like you're cleaning and with the.
Yeah.
You get to see your progress.
That's nice.
Love it.
Then I went one step further and I got a game called Hard Space Shipwrecker or something. I don't know. You're basically employed by some like space crew, and your entire job, the entire gameplay loop, is you find like derelict spaceships and you have to like cut them apart and you have to like salvage all the material. And so, like, the physics engine is really realistic. So you're like trying not to like cut through the like reactor because you'll explode.
You will.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So it's
Yeah, that would be bad.
If we've learned one thing from Star Trek,
but I have not. That's good.
Cool.
Those are my some of my small list.
Awesome.
Thank you.
I've got Chasing the Boogeyman. I really liked that.
Oh,
Richard Chizmar. I did.
I'm the only one that hasn't
You
read
have
it.
to. It's so good.
Have to.
The sequel, we have the sequel. I have not got to it yet, but I'm really
Has
excited.
anyone read
Yeah.
the sequel yet? You or Emily?
I don't know about Emily, but I
Emily
have
checked
not.
it out.
You have not. She
Okay.
checked it out.
Yes, as soon as she
So
like
she'll have
first
a
day she
report
came
for
back.
us by
yeah.
okay.
I'm
all right.
excited. I'm
That
so glad you
It's
read
called
it. though.
Becoming the Boogeyman.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Seems really good.
Yeah,
I'm
pre-
excited. Yeah.
And those of you that may have, was that on the horror episode that we did that? It's written
so.
by Richard Chizmar.
Yes.
So
Really, really good.
And it was written as like true crime nonfiction. Like the,
but it is fiction.
but it is,
It is
fiction.
fiction.
Yes.
So weird and
But the-
so like what a talent that takes to be
Yes.
able to
I
do
know.
that.
Yeah.
and it wasn't even like supposed to be like a new nonfiction book. It was like there's like an additional information for this book that's existed
It
since
was
the
so
80s.
wild.
layered.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
Never-
it was like in his real hometown. Like
Right.
he and his parents are characters, and like
Yeah.
I think his wife is a character. Like it's fascinating.
I had to check so many times to make sure that it was not nonfiction.
If I hadn't known, if you guys didn't tell me, I'd be like, this book was shelved wrong.
Right.
What are we doing?
Which is
Yeah.
says a lot about his ability to
Yeah,
write.
Yeah.
it's really good. Yeah. I also have The Sacrifice by Rin Chepeko, which I have talked about a little bit. It was kind of like a gothic-y YA horror, but it was set like in an island in the Pacific. It was super
Oh,
remember you
yeah.
talking.
yeah,
Yeah.
I really liked that one. I want to
Okay.
read more of.
Do we have that one here, or was that
We
one that you
don't.
got on? Okay.
We have a different book by the same author, I
Okay.
think, because I was looking up stuff for like a TikTok about them, but or not about them, but yeah. Yeah, so I want to read more of them. But that one
interesting.
is really good.
It sounded really interesting.
Yeah. I have one more, a nonfiction. It's called The Way Out, a revolutionary scientifically proven approach to healing chronic pain by Alan Gordon. That one was really fascinating. I wanted to read it to like see if it could help my migraines. And I don't know like if it really has so far, but it was like at least fascinating like approach to how we look at chronic pain because
Yeah.
it's very different from other pain. It was really good. I recommend it to anyone who has like a chronic pain problem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fascinating.
Interesting.
I might have that checked out.
I think it's still checked out to me.
Okay, I might
But I
still
think you
have it in my
have it.
possession. Which I,
Because it's not our book. It came from a different library.
yep, I'll get right on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for reminding me.
Yep.
I haven't had it for that long.
You would think it's interesting. I think it is maybe more applicable to like back pain or
Yeah.
other chronic pain than like migraines,
Sure.
because it deals more with like pain that the body like remembers and stores but isn't coming from a physical source anymore.
Interesting.
That's
But
really interesting.
migraines have like a physical
Yeah.
source that like causes it. so.
Sure.
But your brain can also like trigger them more because it like remembers that pain.
Hmm.
And so it takes like a lower threshold to trigger a migraine the more you have them.
Interesting.
It's really, yeah.
Fascinating, like how much we know about stuff like that, but we still don't like know.
We know
about
nothing.
migraines.
Yes.
Right, right.
It's
Yeah.
very early research.
Yeah.
All of this is like pretty recent.
Yeah.
But very like his method was like very successful in early trials. So
Okay.
quite fascinating.
That's awesome.
But it was all people with back pain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I had a couple of top reads. One is one I just finished last week, and I would like raved about it to Chloe and Avery,
Yes.
and that was Legendborn by Tracy Dion. And I'm actually angry with myself for waiting so long to read that book because it's on like everyone's list of best of. Tracy Dion is a BIPOC author, and the book is like borrows heavily from Arthurian legends.
So cool.
And it addresses systemic racism and the history of slavery in contemporary times. It's a contemporary YA fantasy. I cannot say enough good things about this book.
So interesting.
I know it.
Yeah.
It was. I didn't know what I was getting into because I wanted to read it, so I didn't read a lot about it.
Yeah.
I just heard people raving about it, and it absolutely deserves all of the hype.
I'm really
Okay.
excited to read it. I put it on my list.
It was enough where I turned right around and I read book 2.
Wow,
And I've
okay,
like finished
awesome.
book 2
Yeah.
already. The book 2 is called Bloodmarked. Is as good. It has
Wow.
so many like surprises that I was not expecting, but none of them are gimmicky. They are
Good.
just very well done. I'm really looking forward to the third book, which comes out I think late next year.
okay. Awesome.
Are you annoyed that you read both of them so quickly?
Not really, because I have time to do a reread before
Oh,
the third
sure.
one comes out, which
That
I'm
makes
sure
sense.
I will do. The magic system is really complex.
Oh, okay.
Thankfully, someone on Goodreads was like, "Hey, friends, the magic system is really complex, so here's like a quick rundown tutorial," and that was really helpful.
That's awesome.
Oh, good.
And so when I went into it, I kind of could at least visualize the structure a little bit. Very briefly, the Knights of the Round Table and Arthur, their spirits, Merlin created an eternal spell, and so their spirits call on a scion every generation.
Oh, okay.
And when the world is in mortal danger, those scions are activated. And that's what's currently happening. So it's really interesting, and I love how it brings in the Arthurian legends because it's done in a really, really unique way.
That sounds very fascinating.
Yeah,
It
it
does.
was. It was. There were a couple of really good YA books I've read in the last couple months. Another one on my list is What the River Knows by Isabel Ibanez.
That looks really good.
It is so good. It's about another BIPOC author. I really tried to diversify
Yeah,
my reading
that's
this year, and I'm so glad I did because you get a completely different perspective
Yeah,
on things
yeah.
that you never would think of before. But the main character in this book is from South America. And her parents are archaeologists, and so every winter they travel to Egypt and they leave her behind. She gets a letter saying that her parents have been killed, but no one knows anything about what happened, how it happened, nothing. And so she runs away and jumps aboard a steamer, and she goes to Egypt. Her uncle is still there, and so it's about kind of her journey to figure out what happened to her parents. Again, lots of twists and turns. A very, very strong female main character. It addresses a lot of what girls are and aren't supposed to do types of things. And this was like maybe the 10s. So, but also a follow-up book coming out relatively quickly. So I'm looking forward to that one too. Yeah.
The cover is beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Barnes and Noble has a exclusive edition that the cover is purple.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah, the original one is green, but the purple one is gorgeous. Yeah,
Awesome.
Can we carry it?
I think we have the regular one here.
Okay.
but yeah,
Cool.
yeah,
I think it's on display currently.
yeah, it might be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So, and then I have one more, also a YA, which is odd because I promise I read more than just YA this year. But this one was by Ava Reed, who I believe was a debut author. I might be wrong about that, but this was a Gothic book, and it's called A Study in Drowning. And it's about a university student who is in the architecture program. She's like the only female in the whole architecture program, and she gets selected to do a restoration on a creepy old house.
Ooh.
Now it's a made up like location setting. And I cannot for the life of me figure out like the timeline because they use parchment and quills to write, but there are also television sets.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
It's really, really weird.
That's cool.
And it was very disconcerting and unsettling, but also like it added to the atmosphere of the book. So again, one of the other things that comes up in that book is there's a very famous book that she has been reading since she was a child, and the authorship of that book comes into question, and it's all tied into this like big mystery of the house. So it was really good. I enjoyed it. YA authors, keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, they're great. That sounds fascinating.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
being anachronistic. What's that word?
Anachronistic.
Anachronistic.
Yeah, you said
Added
it.
in my brain.
Yeah.
Using that as like a plot device is very
Yes.
interesting.
Yeah, that
It
is
was.
interesting.
Yeah.
It was very interesting.
A series of unfortunate events is a little bit like that.
Yeah.
Not, I think, to the same degree, but like they don't really set it in any place.
Yeah.
And there's kind of like
Yeah.
old timey things, but more modern
Yeah.
things. Yeah.
Yep.
Just the tone is very like almost
Yeah.
old fashioned, but
Yes.
like
The university
fun.
that she goes to, she wanted to go into the literature program, but they don't allow women in the literature program. So that also, like,
Yeah.
like,
Interesting.
Yeah, it was,
Very
it was,
interesting.
It was
okay.
Good stuff.
100% would recommend.
There's a lot out there.
There
I'm
is.
excited to start reading more YA.
Yeah. I'm glad you're back into reading, it sounds
Me
like.
too. You know, first day of the rest of my life.
That's right. Yeah.
Wow. Happy New Year's,
Happy
you
New Year's.
filthy animals.
Yeah. We'll see you guys next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2025. You got your resolutions in place?
25. Oh, my word.
Yeah.
Don't say those
That
words.
just made my heart skip like 3 weeks in a row.
Well, yeah. It'll be a good year.
We'll do some episodes before then.
I think so.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
We'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.